In this video, I'm going to talk about bizarre skills that I learned that got me laid. The first one is a combination of FaceApp, Adobe Lightroom, and Adobe Photoshop for the purposes of touching up my photos. We've been showing some of these before and after photos, as you can see, and they're fairly subtle, but they do make all the difference. We actually ran a funny experiment where we made a Tinder profile with all the before pictures, exactly how it came from the camera or the cell phone, whatever it was, versus the touched up version of the photos, and it was actually pretty wild. 3 times as many matches. Yes, you heard that correctly. Triple. I got triple the amount of matches on the before photos versus the after. And sometimes it was just a simple color grading thing. And other times it was more dramatic with the physique shots where I made myself a good 10 to 15% more muscular using Photoshop. And if you think that's cringe or you think that's weird, you're not my target demographic. You fuck ugly girls, I fuck hot girls. It is what it is. I use some dirty tricks. And actually, you know who's using more dirty tricks when it comes to touching up their photos and lying about their appearance on social media than I do? Is all women, okay? Don't worry about if I do these touch-ups to my photos, will she notice I don't look as good in real life? If they're subtle, like the ones I do, no, they'll never notice. Let's start there. And even with the physique shots, imagine that, I show up on a date, I'm charming, I'm witty, the girl is totally in my frame, she's laughing at my jokes, she's hanging on every word of my story, she's like, yes, daddy, tell me more. We share a glass of wine at dinner, it's nighttime, I take her back to my place, it's dark, I rip off my clothes, I throw on the bed, I rip off her clothes, and imagine she's like, wait, pause 1 second. She flips on the light. Okay, just as I thought, you were 15% more muscular on Instagram than you are in real life. I'm out of here. No. Don't worry about that because that'll never happen. Worry instead that she won't look as good in real life as she does in her photos. She's catfishing more than me. Every girl on Instagram touches up their photos a lot more than what I teach and what I do for myself. Okay, so definitely don't worry about that. So that's a very bizarre. So you may not think because let's go back to the basics here, right? The basics are fixing up your appearance as much as you can, increasing your social skills, your confidence, and your ability to chat women, understanding female psychology, overall strategy used to meet women, and your finances. Those are kind of the big 3, right? So, looks maxing, again, I'm no physical specimen myself, but listen, I hit the fucking gym 6 days a week. I grow a beard. I try to trim and crop my beard to make it look like I have even more of a jawline. I got a hair transplant. I dress well. I do other things. I have a skincare routine. That's going to be a big thing. Your genetics, your ethnicity, and your overall looks is a huge factor. That's part of the basics. Your mouthpiece. Listen, talk to women in the daytime. Do day game cold approach. Do cold approach. Talk to women. When you see women out in the wild on the university campus at the fucking Starbucks, just chat them up, okay? Just chat them up. Make a WhatsApp group with your friends, plan events, be social, try to be talkative, chat the Uber guy up, chat the random guy you were going up an elevator with for a minute and a half. Not an hour and a half would be a long elevator ride. A minute and a half, chat that random guy up, work on your social skills, and then get your finances. I'll make a whole nother video, but don't lead with money, don't be a simp, don't be a sugar daddy, sugar baby type thing, but money helps with women in so many ways if you use it wisely. So those are the basics, right? Now, beyond the basics, it's kind of bizarre, learning Adobe Photoshop and FaceApp could get you triple the amount of dates. By the way, this was a funny experiment that we did on the dating apps, but I don't even really use dating apps. I only use dating apps when my Instagram accounts get banned and shut down and stuff like that. But dating apps, for the most part, are kind of garbage. There's exceptions. Look, I've dated girls for long periods of time that I met on dating apps. There's plenty of diamonds in the rough. But point being, Instagram is way better. If you want to know my whole strategy, what I do is I build a really high status social media profile. You guys already saw some of the photos that I use. Maybe we'll throw a couple others on the screen. There's also videos of me giving a speech and stuff like that. All things to portray confidence and status. And then I use an online dating virtual assistant to find all the hottest girls in my area. I follow them. We'll put some screenshots on the screen. I follow about 20 girls a day. Anywhere from 6 to 8 follow back. Now that they follow back, boom, I can go directly to their inbox and message them. They'll get a push notification. I will not land in the hidden request folder because now we both follow each other. And it's the best strategy that I found. The girls are hotter, they're more receptive, they have less mental illness and problems and just validation issues than girls you meet on dating apps. It's really good. My contact information, I give you a free Instagram audit. Let's do that. I'll still give you a free Instagram audit. I was gonna take that away. I'll probably still do that for a little bit longer. Message me. There'll be contact information, how you can get the free Instagram audit and stuff like that. And that's my best strategy. But of course, like I said before, that doesn't mean you neglect the basics such as, fixing up your looks as much as you can, work on your mouthpiece and like talking to girls, improving your social skills as much as you possibly can, and working on your finances. Now, let's go on to the next bizarre skill. We talked about FaceApp and Photoshop, and again, you have to hit the basics, but the next bizarre skill is A/B testing. A/B testing. If you guys are digital marketers, you know what I'm talking about. This is when you test two headlines or two images. You may say, hey, we're going to do one variation of an ad where we talk about the safety features of the car. Then we're going to do another variation of the ad where we talk about how the car never breaks down, it never needs maintenance, 200,000 miles plus. And we'll see, do people care about safety more or the car, lasting a long time without needing maintenance more? Which is like more important to people? You A/B test and see which ad does better. Let's put some screenshots, editor, of my photo feeler results. So you can see here, I learned but I was like, how do you get good photography? By the way, the keys to good photography are lighting, status, grooming, location, and making a good facial expression. That's how you know you got a good photo when you can check all those boxes. But I was like, okay, why do I rank like a 4 in some photos or a 5, and I rank like a 7 or 8, or even sometimes like an 8.9, or I think even like a 9.0 in some photos. So I learned how to study this and use photo feeler and actually go to the dating apps and test different profiles and how do you get good data from A/B testing. So that was a big skill that I have. Going more that digital marketer, entrepreneurial route is lead generation, cold outreach, and sales. Lead generation, cold outreach, and sales. Meeting and sourcing women in these weird, bizarre times where digital dating is taking over in-person dating has so many parallels to running a sales team, a sales agency, that you guys have no idea. Unless you're in sales, you would never have any idea. With sales works like this, right? You prospect, you do cold email, means you email total strangers. You message total strangers on LinkedIn. You message total strangers on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. You qualify the good prospects, you cut out the muck and keep the good qualified prospects, the ones that are interested in your service, that have the pain point that your service solves, and the ones that have the money and the means to actually fix the problem, to hire you to fix the problem. And then you just kind of move them through the pipeline and, from cold to not knowing about you to warming them up to, closing them on a sale. Meeting women and sourcing women works the same way. So when I was doing my digital marketing stuff and say, hey, I'm contacting all these people with a good offer, cold people, I bet that works with women. I bet instead of trying to contact a plumber with a really good offer, hey, I'll SEO, I'll rank you #1 for Los Angeles plumber, Los Angeles emergency plumber. I'll get you on the front page of Google organically. You don't pay me until after you get there. That's an amazing offer for plumbers. You don't pay me until after you rank #1 is what we call a good offer. And you cold outreach to plumbers, right? It's like, that could work for women. I was like, why don't I build a super high status Instagram where I'm at the coolest restaurants in my city, I'm with cool guys, they're well dressed, there's hot girls, there's beautiful girls at the table with us, I'm making funny videos, I'm actually showing off my charming, interesting personality, how well I communicate, how well I talk, how well I use my voice, my sense of humor, etc., in video format, in videos. You guys are so lost. You're like, what does he mean? We'll talk more about this. You guys can contact me if you guys want help with this stuff. And, giving a speech room full of people to show confidence, power, intelligence, authority, all this stuff. And I bet you if I made this really, really, really good social media profile and I just cold outreached to girls in my area, just started following random hot girls, I bet you it wouldn't be all of them. It wouldn't be 80%. It wouldn't be 70%. It may not even be half. It may be, in certain difficult dating markets, it may only be 10 to 15% of girls that will follow me back on Instagram. But I bet you know what? If I do enough volume, if I follow 20 girls a day, even if 2 out of 20 follow back, that would be 60 in a month. And 60 hot leads in a month, I can do some damage with that, okay? So that's how, another bizarre skill, learning business and how to keep a sales pipeline, how to prospect, how to cold outreach to people. I turned that into an amazing dating life for myself and a business that I'd run for clients. In some cases, we can even find girls, we can fix up the guy's social media, get him a super baller, high status social media like the one. We'll show Steven's. Let's kind of just scroll through either Steven's Instagram or put some photos. We'll show Steven, good testimonial, good guy that we helped a lot. We'll even put some results too of the girls that Steven's dating as a result of using this. And not only getting results for myself, but having it as a business. The same way that a sales company would keep their clients' pipeline full of business prospects. We keep our clients' inbox on Instagram full of pussy prospects, right? Of hot girls in their area. The next one, all on this entrepreneurial kick and digital marketing, is hiring, training, and managing employees. That's how I hire really good online dating virtual assistants. Listen, the first thing you do, whether it's an online dating virtual assistant or any person, is you have to test for IQ. I remember I'd hire these VAs and they'd be so fucking dumb. They would really just fuck up everything. They would be lazy. How to put up an attractive job post, how to train people, how to filter through the muck, how to eliminate dumb people made a huge difference. You know what else made a huge difference is learning a foreign language, okay? American men don't really know what true submission and true femininity even looks like anymore. They think like, listen, even though American women are still are so masculine these days, they're still women. Like they're very masculinized, they're very dry, they lost most of their femininity, but they're still women technically. And somebody else will get them on a date, be like, oh, but she was pretty compliant and she liked it when I took the lead. I get it. You know what like American femininity looks like until you really travel and hit Brazil, Colombia, Africa, Kenya. You guys have no idea what real femininity even looks like. And, in Kenya, everyone speaks, well, most people speak English with like a cute Swahili accent. It's really cute the way they speak English. And, Brazil, Colombia, almost nobody speaks English. So if I didn't learn Spanish and Portuguese, I would be basically totally fucked. And some of the great, like, if you think it's like cool to have a mouthpiece and seduce women in English, like in English, you can't say like, you're like a ray of sunshine in my life. That sounds really gay and really like whatever. You can say like sweet, over the top romantic things in a foreign language. And I don't know, just because it's a different language, it like sounds good. And you don't have to like simp and like, tell girls like Shakespearean poetry, like, oh, you're like a ray of sunshine. But I'm just saying like picking up a girl in a foreign language is one of the hottest things ever. Like hearing a girl like moan in Spanish and Portuguese, like, ay, que gostoso. Like, sorry if you had to hear that. But like, it's just so fun to like speak a foreign language. It makes your brain work better. For like old people, if you do like Sudoku or learn a foreign language, it like delays Alzheimer's and neurodegenerative diseases. I can't talk. Neurodegenerative diseases. It delays those. And it's just, it opens up a whole new world for you. Like a handsome gringo, or even just an average gringo like me, just a very average gringo like me, who has charisma and a mouthpiece and speaks a foreign language more or less fluently, is a life hack in a foreign language. We get you so many beautiful girls, but you got to go to the right dating market. We have a lot of other videos where we talk about going to the wrong city is doom. And actually, the last bizarre skill is my ability to travel solo and get out of groupthink. The balls to travel solo and get out of groupthink. Groupthink means you're on Instagram Reels, you're on TikTok, everybody's talking about Medellin, Colombia. You go there and you're like, well, everyone else said it was great, and I must think it was great too. You don't have the ability, you're not perceptive, and you're not perspicacious enough to understand, like, hey, wait a minute, like, I'm pretty sure like 95% of these girls are prostitutes, and they're really, really dumb. And they all snort this pink drug called 2C, and they're all pretty much addicted to like makeup, social media, dopamine. They have no morals, no values, clothes, clubbing, posting photos. These girls really have no substance. You don't notice any of that. You're just like, oh, other people liked Medellin. So some people don't have any ability to identify when they're in a bad dating market, which we kind of alluded to earlier. And I would have like the balls. I'm not going to name these cities, but like there's certain amazing cities that I don't want to give away for free anymore to people who don't pay me, where you can go, and for any white guy who's been to like, Thailand or Asia, which you may have experienced, is like this insane gringo white boy advantage, or just foreigner, black guy, whatever, Latino guy advantage. Just by being a foreigner in like Thailand or Philippines, the average height of the guys there is, 5'4". You're, 5'10", so you're like a giant. You're like the equivalent of like 6'3" over there. And you really liked how you were treated by the women there, but you just weren't like, there weren't like a lot of like baddies. There weren't like a lot of hotties. Like, yeah, all the girls kind of line up for me, but they're not that hot. Depending on what your tastes are. If you really like Asian girls, maybe you didn't think that. That's what I thought. Asian girls aren't my type. It is what it is. But there's cities in Latin America, kind of just dispersed all over the place, that no one's even heard of. You guys have never heard of them, where you get the same advantage of like being in Asia, damn near, only they're like really hot, big booty Latinas that are fun, outgoing personalities, and like, pretty intelligent for the most part too. So if I didn't have like this, the balls to like travel solo, go where no gringo has gone before, be perspicacious enough to understand like when I'm in a good dating market. Dating markets can be tough to evaluate because sometimes you get like a shitload of Tinder matches and you think it's a good dating market, but then they kind of flake and like, well, I probably just had a run. No, it wasn't a run of bad luck. Some cultures are like extremely flaky. Some cultures are. Well, in Africa, when you match with a girl on like Bumble, for instance, she's like, so when are we going out? Like I swiped right on you, you swiped right on me. We did this for a reason. Like we did this to go out versus like in America, it's kind of like a video game. Girls just like match with as many guys as they can. They're like relatively cute and like, your match to date ratio in America could be 1 to 40, 1 to 30, depends on the city and stuff like that. But overseas certainly can be like, in Africa, it'd be like 1 out of 2 of your Bumble matches actually wants to show up. So those are a list of bizarre skills that got me laid. Photoshop, Lightroom, A/B testing, lead generation, cold outreach, learning how to hire people and manage people, learning foreign language, and of course the balls to travel to solo environments. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it entertaining. If you want to work with me, my contact information is in the description of this video. Otherwise, just subscribe for more free game and entertaining rants, and also like the video because it helps boost it in the algorithm. Subscribe and cheers. Peace out, boys.